Hello everybody, I'm Batbeard and welcome back to a channel vlog and update. I gotta give you an update because I figured out what's going wrong with Mass Effect Andromeda. And with my PC. Basically when I installed the whole PC and installed the CPU cooler, I had to undo the bit of thermal paste that was on the bottom that came with the cooler. And I had to put on some thermal paste myself, and I followed the exact instructions as the average consensus about how you make a little X and then you put a bead in the middle and then you stick it down and it's all good. And it should be all good, or it should have been, but it ended up being not enough for the size of my processor and the cooler. It ended up spreading way too thin, it ended up getting hard, it ended up caking, and it ended up being very poor contact. Now what this all added up to was a CPU that thermal throttles rather frequently. And so this was happening recently because probably due to it overheating more and more and caking faster and faster and providing less thermal conductivity. So my computer's been getting slower quickly over time recently. So I figured this out when somebody came into one of the live streams of Mass Effect Andromeda, saw the performance, and said that looked like thermal throttling. Now this person got banned because of other reasons, for being a jerk, but he spoiled the game. He spoiled the game, he was a jerk about it, he was like, you're an idiot, this and that. I'm like, no, you're an idiot, you get banned. But funny how things work. You can learn something even from people who are hostile. I checked it out. And he was right. And he can be right, but he's also a jerk. But he's right. He's a right jerk. And I listened to him, and I checked it out. Found that it is in fact the case. It's thermal throttling. That really made sense to me. So I got Speed Fan, and I got all of that, and I'm monitoring the temperatures as I'm also monitoring the clock speed. And anything over 50% power generates enough heat that the cooler can't keep up. Now, just today, I took the heatsink off and looked at the thermal paste. It was hard and it was clumped, and I cleaned it off. Cleaned it with I had to use some rubbing alcohol, just a little bit of it. Cleaned it off with cotton swabs, and got it nice and polished, put some brand new thermal paste on, and stuck that thing back on. Now it is running better, so I'm going to be able to continue with work as usual. And even Mass Effect Andromeda is now running properly. I'll get to that in a minute. But I had to go and I had to order online, and I had to buy a 242. It's a double fan, 240 millimeter radiator and CPU cooler combo, and I'm going to have to kind of jerry rig it on the top of my case. It's an old case. I'll show you in a sec. This is the case. It's an old case, so I'm pretty willing to do that, to kind of like, rather than have to buy a new case, kind of mess up this new one. I'll have to buy a new one for the next PC that I build. But I figure with a few power tools we'll be able to get this one going. So let's see, what else is there? So yeah, about Mass Effect Andromeda. Right now, as we speak, it is running stable without thermal throttling. The new thermal paste was enough to keep up with the demand. And now it is running hot, but it's running stable. And even at hot temperatures, this CPU, new CPUs, the way they're manufactured, They can handle a little bit more heat than they ever used to. Not good for them in the long run, not by any stretch of the words, but in the short run, it'll be fine. And getting the new cooler will help the CPU last long in the long run, and that's fine. So I'm going to finish the game with with the better performance, better, higher image quality. By the way, everything's set on Ultra again, so it should be fine, and it's running good. I quite like the game with all those extra graphics. That's what I paid for a 1080 for, so we'll get that. And then let's see. Yeah, getting the new cooler, we should be able to run Arc on Ultra again too, because apparently I was getting thermal throttling in Arc as well, and I didn't know it. I don't know why I didn't monitor my temperature sooner. It seems like that's something that you should do, but like, I was so confident, oh, I've got this great cooler and all of that, and I didn't realize that it was just not enough. The new processor was that top of the line, that 4.4 gigahertz. I didn't realize how much heat that thing can create. Like I really needed the larger fan. I needed a double fan radiator, and I just had no idea. So that's my mistake. I got egg on my face. You can ridicule me all you want, but it's an honest mistake. Everybody makes it, and I'm here to fix it. And also, speaking of Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm going to be deleting the poor quality glitchy footage, because I was at fault for that, and I didn't know it, but I was at fault for it, and I got to take responsibility for that and delete it. I will be playing the game again, not right away. I don't know when I'm gonna get to play it again, but I will be playing it again. Maybe near my birthday, maybe towards the end of the year. But yeah, just it's something I got to do. And let's see. So if you're catching up on Mass Effect Andromeda, if you miss anything, watch it now. Watch it now before I have to remove it. Because it's not fair to EA and it's not fair to BioWare for me to represent their game improperly. Now, they did make it very CPU heavy, and they did make it use a lot of CPU on loading, and they kind of they have long loading times, and so I've watched the temperatures, I've just done some testing, and the CPU runs at 100% on 4 threads when loading, and then when it's loaded, I have to wait now, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait while my temperature comes down on the CPU before continuing to play. And I know this is a long vlog, a long update, but I wanted to tell you everything, and that's everything. So tonight, I'm going to be streaming Rocket League. Tomorrow, more Mass Effect. We're going to finish the game. I'm going to be posting the... Let's see, I'm not going to be posting any new footage for Mass Effect Andromeda because I'm going to have to do a new Let's Play later. But that's the fact of the matter. It's been a horrible experience so far, but the experience is due to an overheating CPU. And Effie, you're right. But if you're a jerk about it, you're going to get banned. Effie's going to be like, I told you, I hate AMD processors, they run hot. And I was like, no, they absolutely don't. And come to think of it, they kind of do. But Effie, the Intel CPUs are not that much better. If I had an Intel CPU of this speed, I would have been just in as much hurt with this cooler. The mistake I made was more with not having an appropriate cooler for such a thing. So I guess that's where the focus should be. But anyway, bye guys. See you later. Wish me luck. Cross your fingers that the new radiator comes in soon, and content should be getting better soon. Yeah, that's good news. Always good news.